Yes, as a matter of fact, even though there is great polarization in the country, as your other guests have said, there is some point of unity among the American people, which is they despise Congress, both those who vote for Republicans and those who vote for Trump. The approval rating of Congress is in the single digits. It's a despised institution. It's considered by most people to be irrelevant. Mostly what the Congress does is fight with itself. Its only job really is either to declare war. It has the power to declare war, which it hasn't done since 1941, even though the U.S. has been involved in many wars. And the other power is the power of the purse. And here, mainly, the Congress is debating with itself about whether or not even the government can be funded, whether funds can be authorized and appropriated. In terms of the Ukraine war funding, it's very unpopular in the country. Again, there's a very small read about this in the mainstream media. The mainstream media is functioning basically as an echo chamber for the military-industrial complex and those who are cheerleading for this ridiculous war, a war that should end and could end if the U.S. And Russia go back to the negotiating table. But yes, the American people don't want to spend hundreds of billions of dollars for a war that they don't really understand.
Well, absolutely. I mean, right now you have a situation where, the majority of Americans don't agree with the fact that we're sending billions to Ukraine, but the flip side is we've got infrastructure that's here that's still crumbling. We've got people who are still out of work amid COVID, from COVID. And so right now, I think the sentiment is that people are angry because they don't see a lot of the investment and focus being here as opposed to Ukraine, which is a place most Americans can't even tell you where it's on the map. But let me say this about the speaker. This speaker decision is pivotal because the next speaker literally could determine the impact of 2024, depending if you get a guy like Jim Jordan, or if you get a guy like Scalise, or if you get someone who's a wild card. The one thing that I learned today is I had always thought that you had to be a member of Congress to be nominated as speaker, and you don't. And if you've seen some on the right, the far right, have said that, you know what, maybe it's time for the former president, 45, to be put back into, or to be put into the speaker's seat. This is a pivotal time, but I can tell you right now, when you talk about compromise, I think that is the number one thing here. Is this vote wasn't about the fact that McCarthy was out of touch. This is the fact that this was a speaker who did not have control of his own party, and furthermore, compromise is how things get done in Washington. The things that Newt Gingrich and even Nancy Pelosi was able to get done. Never in a million years would anyone have challenged Newt or Nancy Pelosi. So this was about respect and about the fact that compromise didn't seal the deal. And this possibly could be the end of moderate politicians in Washington.